Good morning. Hello. We have some fun elevator music today to accompany us as we're doodling. How's everyone doing today? Good morning, everyone. So we'll wait a few more minutes just to see if anyone else shows up. In the meantime, I'd like to compliment you guys on the drawings you did yesterday of the forest. They're super cute. Good morning, Katie. Good morning. There's so many more people in the group now. It's pretty exciting. I'm glad everyone's having fun doodling. And I hope you're doodling even when I'm not talking at you. So let's wait like one more minute. Okay, so today our kind of quick warm-up, I'm gonna be calling it Inventor's Mashup. I'm going to be showing you two random objects that I just kind of found in my art studio, and I would like you to combine them somehow creatively into one new invention. So here are your two objects that I would like you to combine into one new object. Ready? Here's the first one. I think it's a head massager, but you're gonna invent it and do something different. And here's the second object. It's an empty soy sauce bottle. So I'll give you 5 minutes. Try to combine these two objects into something new. Something that's not a soy sauce bottle or a head massager, but something totally different. You can flip it around upside down. You can use just the lid of it. You're going to doodle that. If you have more than one idea, that would be pretty cool. So look at the shapes. What could you make out of these two objects? And inventors doodle all the time too, so you're well on your way to becoming an inventor, a scientist, whatever you want to do. So if you're just joining now, you might be a little bit confused why these two objects are up on the screen, but the warm-up today is to combine these two objects that I randomly found into one new object. What are you going to invent? And don't forget to post your inventions in the group later on. A new animal, that would be kind of cool. What else? Move it around so you can see it. Okay, so we're gonna move on for now, but I would really love to see your new inventions in the group posted later. If you don't mind sharing, you don't have to, no pressure. Okay, so today I thought I would teach you a couple ways to really quickly and simply draw some people. Because I know people was one of the suggestions that I got a lot. So we'll start off with the standard stick man and see how we can make it a little bit more complex. Okay, so your regular stick man probably starts with a head that's circular, and it has like a spine, 2 feet, 2 arms and hands. Right? That's probably what we all draw if we think of a stick man. But you can upgrade this a little bit if you add a bit of thickness to each of these stick parts. So same thing, you can start with a circle. You can still use this as a guideline, super soft. But now you're going to maybe make this part more round or rectangular, up to you. You might give this a little curve. You might give that arm a little curve. And the legs will be a little bit thicker. Right, so that's a really simple way to upgrade your simple stick man to a more figure-like doodle. And another way you can do is, I'll start with the circle again, is I think in the first episode I talked about how if you make your body smaller, it makes your person look really cute. Big head, small body. And again, if you just want your body to be rounder, you can still use your stick limbs. And I use this kind of doodle a lot when I'm kind of writing notes, if I need to express some kind of emotion. So for example, if this person's mad, maybe hands on the hips, maybe one foot's tapping, maybe they're scared, so their shoulders might be up and their hands might be together. Maybe their legs are kind of bent because they're kind of curling up into a ball. And maybe they're, I don't know, dancing. So one hand up there. Right, so those are pretty simple ways you can make a lot of different actions and poses. Another thing you can add to your people to help with the emotions is obviously the face. So simple faces, you can use eyes. These are eyes. I'm just going to draw a bunch of eyes and then show you how eyebrows can change the way they look. Okay, so give them heads. Okay, So eyebrows, this is kind of a neutral one, so they're just regular, a little bit arched. It's like a standard face. Surprise if your eyebrows are a little bit higher. Maybe you're suspicious. So your eyebrows are kind of like close. Or you're angry. Also, I guess sad is a good one. So sad, you can do a curve this way. So you can see you can show a lot of emotion just with the eyebrows. And then if you add a mouth, that adds an extra layer. So if you add a happy face, or like an oh no face, like a so this one would be interesting. I'll show you two different ones. Different combinations say different things. So right now they both look angry. And if this one looks like this, looks like he's super angry and yelling. And if this one looks like this, he looks kind of evil, right? So you can experiment with combining eyebrow shapes and the mouth shapes. So this one too, this one looks maybe apologetic. But this one looks sad. So that's just a bunch of really quick little facial expressions to add to your little stick people. Couple more things you can do are, these are more stylized, but it's up to you. You can draw, again, circle for a head. You can draw this time a box for the body. And see how I've attached or detached them. So detached, so this is the head, this is the body. And then from the corners, you have the arms and the legs. And don't know if you've noticed, but your arm has two sections. The top part, and then there's an elbow, and then there's a hand. Same thing with the legs, you have knees. Okay, so with these extra parts, not extra, you have them, but extra compared to these, you can do a lot more poses. So let's say, I don't know, let's have him kind of sword fighting. So one arm would be up here, or fencing, I don't know. And arms down here. He's holding the fencing sword. And a good pose might be like one knee like that. Kind of like that. He's like on guard. This guy, I unfortunately drew him looking like he's getting poked. Okay, and you can observe anybody and try to draw their pose really quickly this way. If you just look at where their head is, kind of like the, I don't know, the shape of their body, rotation, and then see the angles of their limbs. Okay. Some other quick ones you can do if you don't want to do this kind of thing. you want to do more cartoony stuff, you can do some quick squiggle people. And again, you can start with the head. And this time, instead of having a round body or a square body, you can do a scribble for the body. And then do your arms off there. And your legs. That's a happy face. Someone asked me to draw a happy face, so here it is. Okay. There's also, I think they're called star people because it looks kind of like a star. So here's the head, and with one kind of pencil stroke, you draw the arms and the legs. So it's kind of like five-sided star people. And with this one, you can do a lot of different poses too, depending on how you draw the limbs. Hope that's making sense so far. It's a bunch of different ways to draw different stick people, simple people. And what is a difficult pose that I can show you? Maybe two people dancing? Or maybe a person saying, I don't know. Okay, so let's start with kind of doing this style here. So person with a head and a body. And if you think of a person showing you that they don't know, what do they normally look like? Normally their shoulders are probably up, like so, right? And then they're like, I don't know. Maybe their feet are just like that. And here's another expression you can use. So your eyebrows don't always have to be symmetrical. One can be up, one can be down. Someone asked how did you get so good? Just practice. It's not magic. You have to doodle all the time, doodle different things. I think I answered in yesterday's video too in a comment. Doodle a lot, doodle different things, challenge yourself. Also doodle the same thing over and over again because you'll find new ways to do it, new ways to improve. Yeah. It's not a magic trick. I used to draw just sick people like that too. Okay, a different pose. Let's see, maybe someone falling. That's different. So if someone's falling, if you can imagine, maybe their head might be kind of over here. And they're like, oh my gosh. And their body might be this way. And their limbs are probably gonna be that way. And maybe one leg is that way. And you can put action lines to make it look more like they're falling. So this guy's falling down. Action lines show where he's falling from. And if you want to show kind of how far he's falling or how far he's gonna fall, maybe show where the ground is. I'll put a pillow here so he doesn't get hurt though. Here's a soft pillow. When did I start doodling? I started doodling when I was maybe 2. I think my mom told me that I used to draw a snowman. I would just hold my pencil like this and draw circles. She called them snowmen. So that's when I kind of started. When I got super interested in art, let's see. When I was super interested in art, I think, from what I remember, I watched a Japanese animation called Sailor Moon, and that really got me inspired to draw the anime style. So I started drawing a lot of Sailor Moon characters in that style. That was probably when I was 6 or 7. Let's draw some more people here. Let's use a different basic shape for the body this time though. Let's use the triangle. And let's make him, or her. Actually, I'm gonna move it a little bit. It's kind of a triangle, but it's kind of curved too, because I want to make this one look like they're dancing. And if you notice, I crossed the arm across the body because your arms are totally movable. There we go, and maybe like so, and I don't know, I'm not a dancer, so I don't know if this is an actual pose. Someone said they're drawing the people doing the wave. That's great. So maybe this one's like, olay. I don't know how that's. Okay. So hopefully that helps you try to do different poses with your people as well. I'll give you a few other tips of drawing people from observation. When you see a person you want to draw, you can look at their head, where their head is, and another thing you want to look at is maybe their line of action, which is kind of like their spine. So if you want to draw their spine, and then you can use that as a guide to draw the body and what their legs look like. Right. Simple lines. This person looks like he's running, and you can use your action lines. So it looks like he came from here, he's going that way. So let's see, what's another good pose I can show you? Oh, maybe like an archer. How about that? Okay, so an archer probably stands kind of straight. I'm gonna make him looking that way. He's looking that way. So his line of action, his body, and I think one arm would be out like that, holding a bow, and one arm would be kind of that way, elbow, and I'm also not an archer, so I don't know if this is actually correct, but here's the bow, in case you can't imagine it. That's like the string, and I assume they have to have a steady stance, so something like that. Someone's sitting, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. There's a space right here. So someone's sitting. Let me just draw a block so I can show you the object he's sitting on. Let's see, front ways maybe? So from the front, a person sitting. Again, you have the head, you have the body, and if you think about seeing someone sitting straight on, you'll see their knees, so their knees and their feet. And I don't know what their hands are doing. Maybe they're holding a book. Okay, and then from the side, if they're sitting straight up, and then this, from this angle, you'll see the legs out this way. And again, maybe they're holding a book. And if it's a person that's slouching, let's go over here. And I'll draw it facing the other way. So a person slouching, so this would be like their body shape. And maybe they're also reading a book, or maybe they're on their phone and the screen shining at their face. Okay, and oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my archer. Okay, let's do maybe one more pose, and then I'll show you how to upgrade any of these stick figures a little bit more. What pose should I do? Maybe someone playing a guitar. So start with the head again. I'll start with maybe like a rectangular body this time. And I'll draw him kind of with a knee bent. He's starting to look kind of like a rocker. Okay. So it's hard to imagine, but here is a guitar really quickly. Okay, there are a few more good suggestions, so I'm gonna do those too. One is jumping. So it depends at what stage of the jump they're in, but I'm gonna flip to a different page here. Okay, so jumping. Let me think. When you jump, you have like a start where you're kind of bent and ready. Kind of like that. And then you kind of launch yourself. Oops, sorry, I started with the body that time, which happens. You don't have to totally do it head and then body first, it's up to you. And the legs. And maybe the arms are this way now, because you're going up. Hopefully that helps. Sleeping. So sleeping is interesting because people sleep in all different positions. So let's say you want to draw a person sleeping from the side. So here's a simple bed and a pillow. Pillow I usually like to draw it kind of triangular. And here's a person, there's the head, and his line of action is kind of like that. So there's his body. You might see one of his arms, the legs, and his feet. He's sleeping. Or maybe he's sleeping on his side. So again, his face. This time he's facing us because he's sleeping on the side. And his body. So this time maybe one hand's kind of like bent this way and up, so his hand's supporting his head. And his other arm like that maybe. And then his feet. Drew the bed too short. Okay, so those are a few more poses, and now to kind of add more details to your simple people, you can take your regular person. I'm just gonna draw a bigger one here. And I'm actually gonna add another box for the bottom half of the body and the legs. I made him pretty tall. That's okay. Okay, and these aren't totally accurate proportions, so don't think they are. This is just for you to doodle quickly. Proportions takes time to practice, and totally recommend you learning and practicing that, but for now we're just trying to doodle people for fun, and you don't have to worry about proportions that much. So this is a basic person that you drew in a pose that you like. Now you want to make it look more like a person. You can add some thickness to your limbs. If you imagine that these are like the bones, like the lines that you drew are the bones, and the little knobs are like joints. Okay, and then the upper arm is a little bit thicker than the forearm here. There's a hand. Okay, so this is torso. You can add a neck. And the legs. So your thighs are thicker than the arms, usually. Unless you skip leg day or something. And again, you can break it off like this into parts. Or you can just do one long one. For the calf part, I like to use the straight line as like the front, and then I do a curved line for the back of the calf, and then the feet. And as for this part, you can round it out a bit. People aren't really that angular, so like so. And when you get to this part, you can have lots of fun coming up with costume designs, clothing designs, hair and stuff like that. So I'll just do one quick example, just hopefully to spark some inspiration, but I'm not going to get too much into different hairstyles and clothing today, maybe at a later time, if you guys are interested. So I think I'm actually going to make this I don't know, business lady? Business lady sounds good. So a business lady probably has a blazer. So let's see. Blazer with one of those kind of cuts, and maybe a nice shirt underneath. And then if you have guidelines that you don't need anymore, just erase them. And if her shoulders don't look as prominent as you want, you can also fix that as you go. Okay. And she has a long sleeve blazer, and clothing isn't skin tight, so I'm going to extend this a little bit here to either side. So I'll erase this a little bit so you can see the blazer. Okay, and pockets, because pockets are useful. And maybe she's wearing a dress with a belt. So a belt would be shown just where the blazer's open, and skirt. And maybe she has some nice flats on. So flats. And maybe she's holding a clipboard. I don't know. Clipboard. So that's her thumb on the top. You can't see the bottom of her hand because it's under the clipboard. And maybe in this hand she's holding a pencil or a bunch of pencils. So here's one pencil, here's another pencil, here's another pencil. And I'll just draw a face, and let's see. I'll give her eyelashes. So often in cartoons, the girls have eyelashes and the boys don't, but in real life, boys also have eyelashes. So it's up to you if you want to draw boys with eyelashes, whichever way you want. And draw some hair here. I tend to draw whatever hairstyle I'm currently wearing, so right now I have a bun, so I'm gonna draw a bun. And there's a simple person, from stick person to fully clothed, a little bit more realistic, but my face is still cartoony. Okay, hopefully that helped a little bit and got you thinking about how you can draw different poses that you're familiar with. I know there's lots of gymnasts at my school, there's figure skaters, lots of athletes. You guys have a lot of cool poses that you know more than I do. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge for today. 2 challenges actually, because I just thought of another one. I want to see you draw a bunch of different poses of people And I also want you to become inventors again. Find 5 different objects this time in your house and combine them into one object. So again, number 1, I want to see you do a whole bunch, maybe like a page of like different action poses. And then number 2 challenge is I want you to find 5 random things in your house that you can combine into one new object. Okay? And if you want to draw a person interacting with your new invention, that would be really cool to see too. So hopefully that's helpful, and I'm excited to see your drawings today. I'll leave you with an inspirational quote. Creativity takes courage, and it's by Henri Matisse. So have the courage, try new things, doodle lots, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.